It is Friday the 19th of July 2024, and we're looking at the rising full moon. I'm not sure which name it's given this month. Let's find out. Let's have a look at what this month's moon is called. So July full moon name. There we go. There's probably a few of them. The buck moon, known as the buck moon, the full moon will reach peak illumination in the US at 6:17 a.m. So we're less than 12 hours away from full. Why is July's full moon called the buck moon? Let's find out. People take photos of the buck moon, which is a super moon. I guess 2022 is a super moon in 2022. This is Time magazine. Make sure you go outside this weekend so you can see July's full moon. Known as the buck moon, the full moon will reach peak illumination in the US at 6:17 a.m. Eastern Time, Sunday, July 21st. Okay, so this is this is from a couple of years ago, 3 years ago. No, wait a minute. No, it says, sorry, I'm getting mixed up. Because the photo was from 2022. But no, this is July 19th, 2024. Earlier this afternoon, this was written and published anyway. So yeah. So we're basically... Oh wait, this is peak illumination 6:17 a.m. on the 21st. So that's 18 hours from now. Well, less than 18 hours. Day and a half is what it comes down to. Okay. I thought the moon was full tomorrow, but I could be wrong. In any case, what else does it say? The term buck moon is a reference to a male deer, obviously, which are also called bucks, duh. In late spring, male deer start to grow new antlers, and these new antlers, coated in velvety fur, can be fully visible by July, according to the Farmer's Almanac. The name buck moon comes from Algonquin tribes that lived in what is now the northeastern U.S., according to the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, also known as NASA. Let's just keep going here. We're just going to raise the camera. We'll yammer on some more. Just let the moon continue to rise up through the frame here. We'll get to the technical details shortly. So July's full moon has other names too. Some indigenous groups have dubbed it the salmon moon because its timing aligns with salmon runs, which is when the fish migrate up rivers each year. Yeah, I guess that's what a salmon run is, really. Talking to us like we're 4-year-olds. But yeah, well, okay, I won't say it. Others have called it the thunder moon because of the early summer's frequent thunderstorms. Europeans refer to the full moon as the hay moon because early summer is typically when haymaking takes place. So this year's buck moon coincides with a significant space moment. True enough, the 55th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing. On July 20th, 1969, astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin landed on the moon. As Armstrong climbed down the ladder to make the first human steps on the moon, he famously said, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for all mankind." More than 500 million people watched the historic moment on television. So the next full moon after this weekend will occur on August 19th, known as the sturgeon moon. It will also be visible for about 3 days, from the morning of August 18th through the morning of August 21st, according to NASA. Well, yes, the moon does appear quite full over 3 days, even 4 or 5 when it gets right down to it. So this was by Chantal Lee. Give her full credit. Published to the internet at 3:23 p.m. this afternoon. This is a Time magazine article I'm looking at. It says 2-minute read. I probably took more than 2 minutes to read that because I Turn the EMR on, don't I? Anyway, we're just going to adjust the image here, and we'll give the technical details. Alright, it was a bit lower in the frame than I really wanted it to be, but let's get to the technical details if I haven't already given them. So it's a 400mm lens. It's a Nikon Nikkor IFED lens. The maximum aperture is 5.6. I have it set to f8 right now. We're using a 3x teleconverter. Believe me, a 400mm lens is not going to give you a moon as big as we're seeing here. That's a 1200mm lens equivalent that we're looking through, because I'm using a Kenko 3x Teleplus Pro 300 teleconverter for Nikon mount that I acquired this morning for a whopping $40. I saw an ad on Facebook Markets a couple of days ago, I think, and maybe even just yesterday. Contacted the seller and arranged to meet them at a Montreal metro station this morning. Had a nice chat with them, handed over $40, and got myself this 3x teleconverter, which gives me the equivalent of a 1200. What? Oui, c'est très beau, oui. Wait.
Wow. Very nice. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too, yeah. So we had a little bit of a franglais exchange here. It's very typical in Montreal. Sort of switching back and forth between English and French. The person addressed me in French first, maybe assuming that I was French, but he probably figured out I was Anglophone, maybe just from my accent. And he switched to English, leaving, and he probably is Anglophone. And this happens a lot in Montreal. Anyway, that's another issue. So I think we covered most technical details, but not everything. F8, yeah, we already spoke about that. The ISO is 2000. The shutter speed's a 30th of a second. It's quite slow. Like, you cannot hand hold this lens combination, even a 400mm, and expect sharp photos at a 30th of a second. You normally need a shutter speed that's about the same as the focal length. So for this focal length, you need 1,000th of a second to have a sharp handheld photo, and maybe more like 2,000 to keep it sharp. But on a tripod, you can get away with a 30th of a second. So yeah, I think we're done with this video. I think we're pretty well done with the evening's testing. I was basically just testing out this teleconverter, seeing how good or not it is. I was not expecting any miracles. I was expecting it to be not terribly sharp, and it's actually sharper than I was expecting it to be. So that's a pleasant surprise. I'd say I got my $40 worth. Not sure how much it is brand new, but I think it's well over $100 brand new. It might be up around 200 even, brand new. So the person who sold it to me this morning for $40 told me he'd paid $80 for it. So I don't know if he bought it new for $80, but if he did, that was a very good new price for this item. But $40, you really can't go wrong. $40 for, basically giving me a 1200mm lens with this 400. I mean, if I put it on a 500mm lens, that'll bring me up to 1500. If I put it on a 1000mm lens, which I happen to have, that'll bring me up to 3000. I have to try that. I think I'm going to have to try that. I have an old Russian 1000mm lens, mirror lens, and if I stick this teleconverter on it, it's going to bring me up to 3000mm. That might be interesting. But as you can see, it's it's pretty tight here for the moon. It's 3,000 millimeters. You wouldn't even get the whole moon. But I'm looking forward to trying this out on the sun with solar filters. So we'll see. But I'm pretty happy. I see an aircraft. Debating if I should try and see that aircraft. First, we're going to raise the ISO. I think I'm going to give it a try. It's going to be rough, but okay, so it should be there somewhere. Probably a little too high. Gotta come down a bit. Oh, there it is. There it is. Found it. That was easier than I thought it might be. Let's adjust the angle a little. Okay. Let's pan that way a bit. Let's pan that way a bit. Okay, so that's an aircraft. You can see the flashing lights. I'll raise the ISO up. And we will just let the aircraft fly. So again, I haven't changed the shutter speed. It might be a bit on the slow side for tracking an aircraft. All I can really see is one bright light in the middle and flashing lights on either side. Raise this up a little. Yeah, I thought I'd give it a try. See what we get here. And I think I'll keep tracking this aircraft because it might pass the transmission towers looking at it there. Maybe not. Actually, it's going to be too high. It would have been kind of fun if it tracked across the moon, but that's not going to happen either. It's too low in the sky to do that. But yeah, let's just keep an eye on this aircraft here. And it is moving. Trying not to move the lens too much after finding the aircraft, because you can see how it shakes there. Whoops! The weight of the bag that I have holding the lens steady caused it to shift. Oops, lazy. You'll notice how the aircraft, when I'm panning that, it gets a little funny. And people mistake this type of image for UFO because of the panning. Where is it? Oh, you know what? Yeah, it's going to be below the moon. Looks like it's going to be below the moon. And where'd it go? Did I lose it? Crap. Where did it go? Somehow seems to have lost it. Let's find the moon again. I think I'm a little past the moon. Okay, it's coming in under the moon. Oh, there's the moon. And it's coming in below. Yeah, there it is. So we found it again. Easier to find the moon. So what's going to happen? Yeah, it's too high for the transmission tower. So yeah, well, that was all very exciting, wasn't it? We'll come back to the moon and pan up here. Quite a bit overexposed for the moon. Let's adjust the angle here a bit. Let's adjust the ISO. So yeah, back to 2000 ISO. Got 5 minutes of recording time left. And I don't see any other aircraft in the area. I have on the odd occasion had an aircraft fly across the moon while I'm taking photos or videos. I have a few images. There were some I missed because I saw it too late and that kind of thing. But I have a reasonable number of images of an aircraft passing the moon, including one or two pretty decent ones. But I have seen some pretty spectacular shots. But I don't have anything to match. So, again, 1200 millimeters, f8 on the lens, but you have to add, oh, there's another aircraft. You have to add 3 stops for the teleconverter. So in real terms, f8, 11, 16, 22. So it's really f22. In terms of light transmission, give or take a bit. 30th of a second, 2000 ISO. And just debating if I want to. That aircraft that I'm seeing, excuse me, looks low enough that it might actually pass close to or behind the transmission tower if it doesn't change course. So I'm debating if I want to capture that. Getting a little bored here. I'm probably boring everyone to death. Anyone who's watched this video this far is probably pretty bored to death. What do we got here? Aircraft, moon. What else can we look at with this thing? Oh, I mean, I could look at the highway. It might be fun to have a look at the highway. What else about that aircraft? I don't see it anymore. Almost, yeah, it's getting there. Yeah.
Also, it's a full moon tonight.
It's getting there. According to Time Magazine, which I was reading earlier, it's on the 21st, but it's still early in the morning.
Okay.
But it always looks full for 3 or 4 days.
Okay. No, because I work in the ER and it was crazy. And like
we're on YouTube. Tell us all about the crazy ER stuff. Nobody's gonna know who you are. All you have to do. This is great. This is gonna be great. Tell us all about it.
Well, no, it was just like really crazy and like really like weird cases that were coming in. So
right, yeah, that's what I hear.
But we have the lore that like if it's a full moon, like we were inside.
Well, wait for tomorrow or the day after.
No, don't tell me that. No, like I was like.
Well, seriously, can you give me like, without naming names or anything, can you give me an idea of what you're talking about?
Well, it's not really. It's nothing like really ridiculous. A lot of ambulances coming in at once, and it's just like it was
right.
But like,
yeah, but I've heard that,
Yeah, so we're just sitting there, like it gets super busy, and we're like, is it a full moon? And
getting there.
We never get to it.
Wait for the weekend.
For sure.
Are you working on the weekend?
Just tomorrow.
Okay,
but I mean, if you're telling me tomorrow, watch out.
Okay, nice talking to you. That's a great little way to end this video. So that was I'm at the MUHC, and a fellow came out. I guess he finished his shift, and he was asking if it's full. I missed the aircraft going, but it went below the moon anyway. But now I see it again. But anyway, getting back to that, he asked, "Is it a full moon?" I said, "Well, yeah, almost, And then he almost immediately goes into the lore about, how things get a little hectic in hospitals around the full moon. And apparently, according to him, there's quite a lot of ambulances tonight, more than normal. So, maybe there's something to that. But then again, it's the kind of thing that can be reinforced, like once you've got that idea and you're sort of expecting that, then you sort of look for things, but anyway, I think they've actually done some fairly serious studies on that issue, and have found that things do get a bit more hectic. I'm just going to lower the ISO here, and lower it again. That's 1250. We're at 1600 for a second. Just making it a bit darker so we see a bit more detail in the moon. And also, we're almost at the end of the split. Less noise at 1250.